All right, everybody, this is just going to be a very, very short video where we talk about this one property that I managed to miss for, I think it's in 4.3 of your book. And so it'll probably be in the 4.3 homework or 4.4 at least. But it's one problem about logarithms, and it's called the change of base property. And you might see a couple of questions in the homework sets about this, and I want you to be able to see it and know what's going on. And there may be one question, not a lot, on the exam or possibly on the final exam, which I don't write. I don't write the departmental exam. So I want to make sure I cover it and you see it, but it's seriously just going to be a few minutes here. So please don't get upset. This is the change of base formula. It would be on the formula sheet so that you could see it. But again, you need to kind of recognize it and see what's going on and be able to maybe match it for a bonus or something like that. So it literally says log base M is equal to log base B of M is equal to log base A of M divided by log base A of B. So what does this mean? Okay, say you're working a problem and they give you some logarithm in a really weird base that we don't normally deal with. And if you remember, your calculator only will help you with log base 10 or log base E. Okay, so if it's in, I don't know, say log base 7, okay, you've got some problem, it's log base 7 of, I don't know, 28 or something. And you're like, I can't do that in my calculator. I want to be able to convert it to a base that I can do. The log base A here is where the A is your new base, okay? So literally what you do is you do the log with the new base of the, and I call this the large font or the big font. It doesn't matter if this is a bigger number or a smaller number. It's just because the font size is so big. So you put the big number, the big font size guy up top, okay? Or if you were thinking log base answer, right? Then it's that guy, log base, the answer goes there. And then on the bottom, you've got log with, again, your new base, okay? Log base A of B, where B is the original base, right? It's the one I started with. It's the 7 or whatever weird number they gave me that I don't really know how to work with. Okay, so what this will do is I'm probably almost certainly going to try base 10, or I'm going to try base E, which is that natural log, right? And I'm going to try one of those because I have buttons for those on my calculator. So if I can convert it to a base that I can work with, it makes my life easier. So let's see an example, and we're literally just going to do 1 or 2 examples and we will be done with this concept. So here we go. It would be something like log base 3 of 27. Okay. Well, I don't know anything about log base 3. I could probably work this out because 27 is indeed a power of 3. We'll see that in a second. So I could set this up as an equation, but if I wasn't thinking, or if I just wanted to punch it on my calculator to be certain, then the way I do it is I'm going to change this guy. And we can say, let's make it log base. What base? Well, I'm going to use 10 because 10 is the common log. And that way I can punch it on my calculator and I know how to deal with that. The 27 is the M, right? He's the big font guy or the large font guy. So he's going to go on top. So it's log base 10 of 27 divide by, use the same base, log base 10 again. I want these to match basically. But on the bottom, I'm going to put the original base. So that's my lowercase, here it is, lowercase base, the original guy. So it was a 3, okay? So let's see how that's going to look for us in our calculator. You'll remember over here on the left-hand side of your calculator, here's your 7, just to the left of it, that's your log button. That is the base 10, and just below it, next to the 4 button is your ln. So that's your log base E or your natural log. Okay, I'm going to use log base 10. So remember that because it's the common log, your calculator doesn't even tell you it's 10. It just goes, okay, here's log of 27 is what we're saying. Well, that's a 1.43, blah, 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 blah. Now, you can, if you want to, punch this or write this up, but what you need to remember is keep that decimal in your calculator, okay? Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have rounding errors, okay? So then on the bottom, I'm going to punch these separately and then I'll do it all together. On the bottom is log of 3, right? Log, it's base 10, but I'm using the common log button of 3. Well, that is 0.477, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's a long decimal as well. That's why I said, don't round these. You can, if you're writing it and you don't want to write all that stuff, that's fine. Just write a couple of decimal points. But in my calculator, I'm going to keep it as much as I can. So all together, if I wanted to do that, I would say it's the log of 27. And be careful with this, because if you're going to do it all together, you need to close those parentheses. Okay, that is one number on the top, and divide by, and on bottom, it's going to be the log of 3. Oops, sorry. My calculator put that first set of parentheses in there. Dang it. Sorry. Log of 27, close my parentheses, divide by log of 3, close those parentheses. And it tells me that that ratio is a 3. Okay. So my calculator says, hey, that's a 3, okay? And if we think about it, let's take just a second to go back to our log properties. This is like y equals log base 3 of 27. Isn't that the same as 3 log base answer equals exponent 3 to the y equals log base answer 27? And then 27 is 3 to the 3rd. So 3 to the y equals 3 to the 3rd. We know when we have the same bases, we can just deal with the exponents there. Y equals 3. Oh, look, our calculator is right. So we can do it using our log properties that we already had, right? And we know our exponent rules here. So we could do it that way, but the calculator can do it for me, maybe a little bit faster. And maybe we have a little bit more assurance because the calculator confirmed our answer, right? Okay. So that's what it looks like to go log base 10. I'm going to do the same problem because we've already got it. We know the answer is 3, but I want to do it using log base E. So let me do this, hold this up. So we did it with the base 10, and I'm just going to do the same thing. It's log base 3 of 27, and I'm going to use the change of base formula, but we're going to use a base E instead. So that's going to be log base E of what's the M? It's still the big font guy, right? It's still the 27, so that goes on top. And on bottom is log base E of, it's still the base that I'm getting rid of. So it's still the 3, okay? And notice that this log base E of 27 over log base E of 3 looks a heck of a lot like log base 10 of 27 over log base 10 of 3. So it's the same thing. I'm just changing it to a different base. I'm going to change it to the E. But if this thing equals 3, then it better be 3 no matter which base I change it to, right? So let's check it in our calculator. By the way, remember that log base E is the same as natural log. So we write that ln of 27 divide by ln of 3. Okay, and when I do this on my calculator, remember that instead of the log button, I'm going to use the ln button. So I'm going to use the button right below it. So ln of 27, we don't really care what that is. If you want what the decimal is, you can punch that equals and figure it out. But I'm going to divide that by ln of 3, okay? And look at that. The ratio is still 3. So it doesn't matter which base you go to. Some people like the log base 10 because that's the common log. Some people like natural log because occasionally you'll be working a problem that has a, say, the interest formula A equals PE to the RT, and you're going to have an E in there, so they want the E. I don't care which one you use. Just know it's out there. Just realize there may be a couple of homework questions and maybe even a test question where you have to use that formula. And that's it. So I told you, really short and sweet this time. Shouldn't take you but just maybe 5 minutes to watch this video. So if you have questions about change of base, let me know. Thanks.